All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach. And the show is brought to you by the DJ the Money Coach team in the 7 spheres of money systems. And before we get started and take our trip to tonight's beach, go ahead and like this video, share it, and subscribe to DJ the Money Coach right here on YouTube so you can help us spread the message, spread the good news, spread the gospel of the Pom Pom Lifestyle Movement. And what is the Pom Pom Lifestyle Movement? It is plenty of money and peace of mind. And we invite you to come and join us on the beaches of the World Club. And tonight's beach, on this last Friday of Black History Month, we bring you part 4 of the Dream Realized, Black History Made, Zanzibar Resort, open in 2024. So DJ, happy Friday to you, brother.
Happy Friday. I didn't know this was the last Friday of Black History Month. Thanks for educating me, brother.
Oh, yeah. Next Friday is March 1st.
Okay. The Ides of March.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, man, we jump right in. Again, every day that you have your health, you have wealth, and you can attain the plenty of money and peace of mind on that journey. But without health, we don't have anything. And without God, it's all for naught. So I want to jump right in. We're going to show you some raw footage because we actually, just received our raw footage. We haven't had a chance to mix it up, remix it, or anything like that. But again, perfect is the enemy of great. But right now is what matters. And progression is what matters with productivity. So I take productivity over activity any day of the week. So we're going to show you guys some raw footage before we mix it up. And if D-Nice, if you're out there, confirm if you received our emails from our conversation the other day, because I hadn't heard any correspondence from you, D-Nice. So hit me up. Let me know if you got the emails and what is our next execution. That's very important. So we're excited. Today is part 4. We're probably going to do a part 5 because the important thing right now is to show you guys the production of the major accomplishment, the dream realized. And then when we mix it up and do a hard push for our, campaign, it is what it is. Again, like I say, some people have multi-million-dollar, production and videos, and they look spectacular. At the end of the day, they don't own much. These are facts. I was just looking at some real high-level videos of another organization that just stepped foot in Zanzibar, and it was beautiful, spectacular, matter of fact. But the reality is they don't own anything. And the reality is, in this day and age, assets that are hard assets and equity and ownership is where it matters. And yes, we will have some, top tier videos and everything like that, but everything takes time. If I'm going to err on the side of one thing, I'm going to err on the side of acquisition of assets, and I'm going to come up, a little bit, slower on the marketing and the pretty videos. But we know a lot of you need to see that stuff because you don't have the same level of confidence that we possess. So you need to have that to make you feel good about whatever it is you need to feel good about. But for me, give me equity and ownership and hard assets over, sizzle. I'm going to take the steak, baby, because I can always cook the steak. The sizzle, that's all it is sizzle. So right now, we're going to jump right in, show you a couple of pictures, couple of videos. I've actually just received my, 2 terabit hard drive in the mail from Isaiah. Thanks, Isaiah, for shooting all the footage. So we're going to basically do this organically. I'm going to open up, show some stuff. Nick's going to show some stuff. I'm going to part wisdom with you guys. But first and foremost, let me say this to you, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have your financial ducks in a row, please get them in order. Please get yourself an emergency fund. Please get a plan to pay off all your consumable debt, your credit cards, things of that nature. Also, please get a plan to live beneath your means right now, because in this economy that we're in, the economy is, constricting, if that's even the proper word, Nick. It's getting smaller is basically what I'm trying to say to you, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have put yourself in a position where you've taken on unnecessary consumer debt, if you have student loans, things of that nature, attack that plan. And first and foremost, don't go out and add more debt to your bottom line. Don't do it. If they send you a multitude of credit card applications in the mail, approved and all of that, unless you can afford and you can pay it off in every 30 days, don't do it. Okay? Don't do the buy it now, pay later programs. That is just a sophisticated version of payday loans. Don't do the PayPal, you can get it now, pay 4 payments down the road. Because the thing is, you're establishing a habit that you're going to do that with everything. And you're going to look up and thought you made a $100 purchase over here. And since you did it 10, 12 times, you're going to look up, you're going to have yourself 12, 15 more. And then they all going to come due immediately. And then right now, if you don't know this, interest rates on credit cards are just like interest rates on homes. They're through the roof. I was looking at my Platinum American Express card, and the interest rate, man, was shockingly 29%, bro. And I got A+ credit, but 29%. So I will be paying that bad boy down to zero next Wednesday, because I'm not giving anybody 29% of my money. And so if you don't think about this, ladies and gentlemen, again, as inflation and taxation goes up, also does interest rates and also does rents go up as well. So you got to be on the right side of the quadrant and not on the left side of the quadrant. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the cash flow quadrant, on the left side, employee, pay the highest taxes. The lower left-hand quadrant is called the self-employed, or what they call the what did Robert Kiyosaki call it? Well, mine was just called the suicidal quadrant. At the end of the day, the psycho, that's what he called it. Called the psycho quadrant. On the right hand of the cash flow quadrant is businesses, business systems, and then the lower half is investor, and that's an ultimate investor that has assets that produce passive income every month. And sometimes, entrepreneurs who are successful, they have cash flow challenges when they take on a lot of projects that don't get fully, they don't get fully leased, fully engaged with the tenants or the business contracts, but they have the hard assets, so they have a cash flow bottleneck. And the tendency a lot of times is to try to live off the credit cards. There we go. Yep, the cash flow quadrant. So what I'm going to encourage you right now, if you are in a position and you don't have 3 to 6 months of emergency fund, you don't have a high interest yield money market account, which right now, some of them are paying 5%, some of them paying 6%. None of them that are really good are paying less than 4%. Park your money in there in an internet bank, attach it to your bricks and mortar bank, and just know how to manage the process of the ebb and flow. So keep just a little bit above your bare minimum, or about a third or a quarter above what the minimum is in the bricks and mortar. Put the rest of it in your online internet bank, and then just make your transfers. And now it might be tedious, but if you can, make yourself, 5-6% interest, that's almost like passive income. And in the meantime, pay down those bills, pay down the credit card bills, pay down the student loans. Do those things. Please do those things, ladies and gentlemen. Or if you have the ability to get an interest-free credit card and be able to transfer balances with little to no fees to buy yourself some time, do that. But first and foremost, before you do that, ladies and gentlemen, please get in alignment with a financial expert. If you don't know how to do it yourself, I'm not giving you financial advice. Even though I'm a financial expert, your first thing is, before you take any advice on any platform, in person, digitally, or what have you, go find a licensed, proven professional to work with you. Because if you are a professional in your, craft, guess what? That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go talk to you first. So I advise you do it yourself. That only makes good sense. Okay? Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you got a debt strategy plan. Make sure you have an emergency strategy plan. Make sure you have your Roth IRA strategy plan. Make sure you have a self-employment pension strategy plan if you are a small business owner. Make sure if you're putting a college plan together for your children that you are apprised of the new 529, plan, where now they're getting more like the Roth IRA so they can compete. Make sure you know the new changes in those tax, laws as well to benefit you and your household. Make sure you know these things, okay? And if you don't, line up with a professional and allow them to guide you through the process. Let me say this. If it took you, like myself, several years ago, back in the late 90s, to get into $60,000 worth of consumable debt, it didn't happen overnight. It took me a period of years to accumulate that kind of debt. Don't expect, unless you got a boatload of cash sitting somewhere, that you're going to get out of it in 2 to 5 days, 2 to 5 weeks, 2 to 5 months. Typically, it's going to take 2 to 5 years. In addition to you acquiring, the right asset where you can crawl, walk, run. But a lot of us want to get it done instantaneously because we live in a microwavable society. We live in a TikTok world. But those people aren't telling you the truth. So that's the caution I would like for you to take as you are listening and watching us. And don't let all the fancy things get you all in the ether of euphoria, where you make unwise decisions. Okay? That's important, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So with that said, since I have given that PSA, my public service announcement, I'm going to expect that you're watching this program as you have, that you are a very smart person. You have advisors. I'm going to recommend that you do 3 things when it comes to having counsel. Number 1, have yourself a godly counsel, and that will be predicated on the simple fact that that person is emulating the principles of the Bible, not the personality in the person. So based on your ability to read, make sure it's meaningful, manageable, and measurable, based on your comprehension. And if they're lining up with the principles, and you can look in that Bible and line it up, and they have the fruit on the tree, then you should take their advice. Number two, make sure that you have a business advisor who, again, he or she has the fruit on the tree. He or she has made it through a recession, and they have hard assets that produce passive income or whatever earned income that you aspire to get to. Make sure that they have that on their tree. And then last but not least, make sure you have a leadership advisor. And again, make sure they have the fruit on the tree. If they're a leader, guess what? They have other people that are following them. And if they've led for a long time, they have students, pupils, disciples who are actually doing better than them. These are the things that you have to line up in today's world and today's economy. And all you have to do is, crawl, walk, run. This is not a 100-meter dash. It is a marathon. As long as you are grabbing systematically, strategically, a hard asset that can produce $250 a month in positive net operating income a month, and you can do 1 to 2 of those per year, in 2 to 5 years, you'll have yourself 10 properties, and you'll have yourself between $5,000 to $10,000 a month in passive income if you did it right and you don't panic. But if you want to know how to get a quick, double digit return on your money, return on investment, and you have credit cards, guess what? You pay them off because, like I said, American Express Platinum, 29% interest. Chase Inc., 15% interest. And if you happen to be lucky to have one that's paying you, this charge only 7.9, 8.9, that ain't flying right now in today's economy. Check. There's a saying, the big print giveth, the little print taketh away. And you have to be cognizant of that. So with that said, we're going to now show you, what we've been able to do in 2 years. We still got 3 days to have been 2 years for me actually stepping foot in Africa, but we have already pulled this off. And again, what we're showing you is simple based on our level of financial intelligence, but it is not easy, ladies and gentlemen. So we're taking our ability to take complicated things and make them simple for you to grasp, but they're not easy to accomplish. So that's what I want to, advise you to. It's always great sometimes to slow down to speed up. Slow down to speed up. So right now in today's economy, in America specifically, you ought to be sitting down in council. And you ought to be doing that once a month. You ought to have somebody that you are accountable to. You ought to be practicing the 4x4. Let's put those up on the screen here, because it's so important to get back to the fundamentals, back to the basics when things start to go out of control. And I'm speaking to myself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not perfect. I'm human just like you. And, we all have challenges. We just have them at different levels and different degrees. I have big boy challenges, because when you're trying to do all these great things, with those great things that provide great return comes great obstacles, which are opportunities in disguise. So I'm sitting down with my counselors this upcoming week, starting on Monday. My accountant, my attorney, my spiritual, I'm getting that all lined up, because we've been on a whirlwind tour and a lot of stuff been happening, and we just got to make sure we don't get off track and we don't get full of ourselves. Because everybody's dangling a lot of, shiny objects in front of folks right now. And most of them are fugazis. And remember this, Satan don't come at you from the anger, the devastation position. He comes at you from the, it looks good, tastes good, smells good. That's how he gets you. For men, he dangled pretty women, fast cars, etc. You know, women, you know, all kind of things, and especially emotional things, and a lot of fairy tale things. Get quick rich, be, you know, Instagram famous, those type of things. So that's what we want to share with you. So, you know, number one, discipline. 4 dirty little words, discipline. If you don't discipline yourself, you will be disciplined. Number 2, accountability. That's to those advisors who have proven track records, who have fruit on the tree, who are licensed. Okay? I can't say this enough. A lot of these people on these platforms, they showing you shiny and shinier things right now, and they don't have the stuff that they showing you. Just gonna be honest with you. And I will venture to say, the younger they are, the less shiny stuff they have that they showing you. It's no coincidence that the average millionaire is 50-something years of age. They're not 22, 24, 30 years of age. And if these people are, they are 1 in a trillion. They make their money off of advertisements, affiliate market. They very rarely own any hard assets, ladies and gentlemen. They are getting money from you watching their programs. Nothing wrong with that. And they're getting people to advise so they can put it in front of you. Nothing wrong with that. But you should be real with it. You got all these tax experts jumping on the scene right now because it's tax season, showing you all these pretty things. And my thing is, if you really that person, why are you showing me multi-million-dollar houses, $100,000 whips? Why don't you just show me some basic stuff? Think about it. So you have to plug into a proven system. Again, ask them, what's your equity and your ownership in the stuff that you're showing me? If you say you're a CPA, what kind of CPA are you? Let me get some references on the clients that you work with. Don't hop out on the scene and you got these beautiful fake eyelashes, fake hair, $1,000 dresses. I'm telling you, me personally, my CPAs, they regular, plain, nondescript. They're not trying to be on the forefront. Hey, I'm not knocking that game, but the reality is CPA should be cool, calm, collected, behind the scenes. If you chasing that popularity contest, I don't know. But that's the world we live in today. You're not going to see the cats at Ernst & Young, KPMG. They're not going to be out on these platforms dressed in $1 million suits and stuff. But in our community, that's the first thing you see, man. The first thing you see. They rent the cars, they photo, op the houses. Or just like 3-4 years ago, this one person down in Puerto Rico claims she got a $10 million crib because she's selling you a $10,000 course And the same year, she didn't make $100,000 in investment stock, but that was her expertise. I'm just saying. So plug into a proven system. Don't be afraid to call your IRS. The IRS is actually your friend if you're doing what you're supposed to do. So plug into a proven system and then go to work. And then as it pertains to you building a business successfully, you have to practice the 4 Ps, which I call the soft skills. How to become a chief executive operator. Okay? So the first one is professionalism. Persistence, and that's persistently following your plan. The third one is what's very indicative of right now, because a lot of us are hurting financially. We have to persevere. Here's what you have to understand. You have to know the difference between an urgency and an emergency. You have to know the difference between an urgency and an emergency. Okay? So right now, albeit we're in tax season, so a lot of people are, want to get their refund real quick. They want to spend it real quickly. A lot of people have, financial challenges right now, but you have to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. You're either going into a tough situation or you coming out. Typically, every 12 months, you're going to have 2 to 3, urgent situations that are going to happen in your life. And they could be good. You could just got a promotion, windfall cash, or you can have a hardship. But when these things happen, if you're not dying, literally, or you're not literally about to be put out on the street, then you ought to hop on the phone, call those 3 advisors, because that's a urgent situation. It's not an emergency situation. Okay? And then last but not least, this is when you hunker down and you produce, you perform. And look for the message that God is trying to reveal to you in the storm that you are going into, because you will come out of it. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. And that's a cliche, but the reality is it's actually truth in that cliche. So having the ability to discern, is it an urgency or is it an emergency, is very important right now in these particular times. And the most important thing is to have the ability to have humility and seek advice. And give that person who has the fruit on the tree the ability to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. That is critical right now. And if you continue to be wise and crawl, walk, run, you will find out that you can be successful long term, just like the tortoise versus the hare. And if you do find yourself in an emergency situation, it's even more important that you phone your upline advisors and let them provide you with assistance. And don't take on the task by yourself. And also know this, you're not the only one right now that's having emergency situations. So don't be, woe is me, even though it's a tough situation. But also know this, don't beat yourself up, because everybody at some point in time have an emergency. Everybody at some point in time have urgencies in their lives. But a lot of times those people do not have people to advise them. That's no different than seeing young people out of control because they didn't grow up in a 2-parent household. Matter of fact, they didn't grow up in a 2-parent household who had a vertical alignment with God. Because there are people who have grown up with father and a mother in the same house and they're knuckleheads. Right now, you're seeing, unfortunately, we are turning into a gossip culture. And it saddens me because men are acting more like women on this gossip tour. Grown men arguing like little high school girls. And you know what I'm talking about. The hottest thing going, I'm talking about across all landscapes. Everything that everybody does, they're so content driven. Even the people who claim to have the most character, the most integrity, they're talking about pop culture on a daily basis, almost if it was just as important as the election. Think about it. You can name me anybody that's held in high regard in our community, and I can show that they're talking to you about this Club Shay Shay. They're talking about, Fanny, whatever her last name is. And they all on the wrong side of history. Think about it. And again, you're watching the show and you're like, man, why is he talking to us about this stuff? Because it's fodder and it's purposely put out there for you not to pay attention to what's really going on in this world. The wars, the change in the culture, the people who are really controlling the narrative. This is the most important time that you should be minding your own business. But it's a sad narrative when you can turn on somebody is regarded, as a great journalist, a great, high character person, and they're talking about Club Shay Shay stuff. I've never seen this before in my life. But right now, it's become common. You could turn on PBS and get just high quality programming. They're talking about gossip. CNN, they're talking about gossip. Y'all follow me? That's the time when you got to dig in and quiet the noise and get down with your program, because that is purposely Satan saying, I know the programming that gets you to never go to the promised land, and I'm going to double down on it and see if you're strong enough not to get pulled into it. There's old adage, Alcoholic Anonymous. If you know you're an alcoholic, don't go into the bar, don't go to the clubs, don't even put yourself around any beverages whatsoever, because you don't have the power to not get tripped up on it. That's the same thing. We're getting tripped up with women. And this is going to be the last thing I say here, but think about this. If you're out there, you're professing that you are a man of God and a follower of his principles, but you're out here being seen with harlots, man, you might want to wake up. And don't let the programming that they produce on these Super Bowls to get you tricked that Jesus gets us. Man, that ain't coming from a godly perspective. And I'm going to say this to you. So when Jesus forgave the harlot, he didn't tolerate. See, that's what those messages are saying. Toleration. Nope, that's not what Jesus said. Jesus said, guess what, Nick? The harlot, we're not going to cast a stone at her, but we're going to tell her we forgive her and not to do that act ever again. See, those ads are saying, oh, we tolerating, but it's not telling you not to do it again. Y'all see the difference? So when you see those ads and they slickly put two men together and let your mind run amok to say, oh, Jesus, he embraces homosexuality. No, he don't. Jesus says, I'm not going to cast you into the pit of fire. I'm going to forgive you. But now that you have come back to me, tomorrow, you're not going to do that activity anymore. There's no tolerance in forgiveness with God. I don't care what you say. So it says real simple. When I was a babe, I acted like a babe. But when I became a man or I became a woman, I put silly, childish things aside. And that's what you're seeing now. You're seeing everybody. When you have professors of economics, professors of history talking about Club Shay Shay and Fanny, they have been pulled in to make you go astray because you are caught up in their titles and you have left their character to lead you astray. This ain't a popularity contest. What y'all think about that? So what does that have to do with taking a bite out of Zanzibar? What does that have to do with the 7 spheres of money? It's real simple. God says, if I can't trust you with a little, I can't trust you with a lot. To whom much is given, much is required. So as we build these first ever amazing resorts, luxury townhouses, condominiums, we are required to be people of integrity, people of character, have fruit on the tree. We are flawed, but certain things we have to be above reproach. Because if no man or woman rebukes evil and reprobate behavior, we all going to hell. Just that simple. And all it takes for that to persist is for us to be quiet. So right now, while we have your attention, because you like the shiny things that we're showing you that we took a long time to build, it is a responsibility to bring it to your attention. However you receive it, that's on you. But guess what? When we go to meet our Creator, there's not going to be a question on why didn't you share the gospel when you had their attention. And the worst thing that can happen to you, the worst thing can happen to me, if you have children or you have children, nieces and nephews, grandchildren, stuff like that, it's not for you to go to the pit of fire. It's for you to lead them to the pit of fire. And that's what's happening right now across the board in the world, especially in America, but it's happening double down in our community because we are the guinea pigs. And we're not wise enough to stop talking about it. And even the ones that say, I don't need the clicks, I don't need this, then the question is, why are you talking about it? That's my question to you. Why are you talking about it? Why are you letting their name come out of your mouth? You know why? Because you're lying. Because you want the clicks or you want to be relevant. So that's my public service announcement. Let's show you the stuff that we have here to show you what you should be excited about. If you follow the 4x4, you follow the 4 Ps. And let's make it rip. So this is part 4. The dream realized. It began December 2021. And less than 2 years from the day that we stepped foot on the continent of Africa, which was our first time stepping foot on the continent of Africa, we have done something that you would think is miraculous. It's really not. It's when you focus and put a team together, everything's possible. And that's what you see in a manifestation of. So first thing we're going to do is open up, show you some quick pictures of the group and what was day 2 of the conference on site. See, on site. It's the positive part about on site. We actually are at our development that was practically like 90% completed. And we could have held this in the beautiful hotel at the resort, but we want to keep it real with you because you need to see, production, and you need to see where we started, where we are, and where we finish. So right here, what Nick's about to pull up, he's going to pull up a couple of pictures. This is at the townhouse development. And if you have never seen us, this is a plot of land that we bought in July of 2023. And we're now building it out to 5 luxury townhouses. And we've done it in a short period of time. So this picture right here is us on site. And, we're in Zanzibar. So it's 90-something degrees out. So we got our pitch tent and everything. We did our little conference. And you tell me this. If this is not a beautiful picture, I don't know what one is. What this picture represents, ladies and gentlemen, real people. Real Africans, real Black Americans working together in unity with peace. Every day, hardworking, high integrity, cooperative economics practicing people coming together, baby. That's what this picture represents. So we don't have to be all super jazzed up so you can put us on a higher pedestal when we are actually in the trenches doing the work. That's a beautiful thing. That's building community. That's, breaking down the cultural differences between us that we have been purposely miseducated against each other. This picture reflects how we're able to work together with one common goal. That is to make Africa for Africans in partnership with Black Americans. This was on Martin Luther King's birthday. The day before, we opened up the resort, 220 unit, luxury residential resort. We came out the next day and we showed them the townhouse development compound. And then the day after that, we showed the professionals that came from America how they can actually do what we've done and show them what their money is actually producing. This is a long-term play, ladies and gentlemen. And we're just scratching the surface on the surface. This is kindergarten. It's kindergarten at the higher level, but it's kindergarten because in 2 years, we're going to have thousands of people in this picture. And you know what the best thing about that is that they all going to have one thing in common, Nick and Tajir. Just like you, they're going to have equity and ownership. They're not going to be pawns to be used by somebody else who is an elitist. They're going to all have equity and ownership. And that's the most important piece. Equity and ownership. So let's show them the next picture. It's probably another similar shot, but this is us, I think, on the beach. So this is our Pom Pom Lifestyle pool party picture. We have been partying all day. We had our own private party, and now we're right out at nighttime. We began partying something like 12 at noon, all the way to 12 at night. Man, this is what life is all about, ladies and gentlemen. This is the epitome of the Pom Pom lifestyle. Plenty of money, peace of mind. So I'm gonna let Tajir hop in here, and you can take the screen share off. And Tajir, why don't you talk to him a little bit about your almost 3 months in Zanzibar? Talk to him about what we got rocking and rolling, what we're excited about on the new equity and ownership. And then I'm going to show some of the raw footage of some videos that I can show, which were too big to send Nick. But this is Tajir. Tajir is the president of Zanzibar. Tajir is a quarter of a century young, but he's got, like 5-10 years of expert experience that just multiplied in 2-3 months of activity of production in Zanzibar. So talk to us, Tajir.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to Family Finance Fridays. So, if you guys have been tuned in thus far, you know the mission that we're on and what we're building in Zanzibar. So, as DJ noted, I did just spend the last 3 months in Zanzibar building the next phase of our operation, which showed me a lot of things. But out of the many things it did show me, it showed me how much we take opportunity for granted. I watch people, families that may not have had a certain amount of means figure out a way to see how they can buy low, sell high, respectably. I want to weigh in on that point, respectably, with respect, and change their futures. And they didn't negotiate the price of success, and they weren't concerned with a luxury lifestyle. So when you get to spend time with people that have grown up in that kind of mindset, and you get to see how they create their realities with less resources than you have back where you're from, it changes the way that you view the world at large and what you view you're capable of. So with us in Zanzibar over the last 3 months, making relationships to build, grow, and expand our business, overseeing construction, but wait, not just normal construction in Africa, in Zanzibar, because buildings in Zanzibar need to be built completely different than buildings in Chicago, New York, Texas, LA, and being keen on how things are being built for sustainability. And then going forward on building these operations, putting together these teams, and making sure we have the proper leadership in place from a tactical perspective and an actual people management perspective, and understanding who you have working with you and understanding how to utilize their skill sets and their talents and how things coincide with their culture and the way that they do things, because you have different cultures, different customs. So the way you do business and the way you operate is different than the way they do. So you have to find a way to make sure things are at a healthy medium so everybody is happy and everybody is able to be effective for long-term longevity. And the biggest of all, finding where the current opportunities and then the opportunities to be, lie, and exist, getting in and becoming an early adopter, which we do so well, and going through the hardships, the hard times, the annoyances, the inconveniences, to find a silver lining in the rough. So we're super excited about all of that because we started off as developers, right? Buying resorts, building resorts, and now we are becoming a full-fledged operation with the recent acquisition of a couple transportation vehicles and coming soon, some boats, which is going to change the entire facet of what we're doing in Zanzibar and step us into what we call phase 2. So we're super excited about all of these things because this is the progression of everything that you guys have been able to see over the last 2 years being put together, now being highly accelerated by the force and power of you guys and our team and the connections that we build to really create this exciting future that we want to see. So we already knew Zanzibar is the future. It's the golden goose, the last frontier. And we're even more entrenched strategically there. So it's nowhere but up from here.
Hey, real quick, did you guys see the screen share that I put up there while Tajir was talking?
Yep.
Yes.
So let me show that again. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I was showing while Tajir was talking was actually one of the townhouses. And as you saw the tent, which the first picture Nick shown you was us inside the tent adjacent to one of the townhouses that is actually now absolutely fully, completely done. But I mean, just think about that. And Nick, if you can, I want to juxtapose the acquisition in July. Can you find that video? And we're going to put it side by side so you guys can see what production is. Production. So think about this. End of July, we purchased the acre and a half of land, I think it is. We purchased an acre. So that's July. So August, September, October, November, December. 6 months, baby. January, 7 months. And we have built 5 luxury townhouses together, hand to hand, interdependently together, as Tajir likes to say, economy of scale. And we literally, ladies and gentlemen, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tajir, I think you're owner in the land and owner in the townhouse too, correct?
You cited that correctly.
Did y'all hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Quarter of a century young, and he's already an international owner of land and property in Zanzibar. And he's going to show you some other video that he's actually owner on the tourist side as well. So I pose to ask you, would you like to have the multi-million-dollar video, or would you actually like to have the actual asset itself? So while Nick's going to find that first video where we actually made the acquisition, I'm going to do the share screen so you can see this again, because this is real, ladies and gentlemen. This is real, and it's a beautiful thing. And we're proud of what we've been able to accomplish in a good way. And instead of being out here chasing, popularity and likes and relevance for the wrong reason, we out here mixing it up, baby. Let me go back here. I'm gonna go back to the share screen piece. I'm trying to get good on my technology. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all can see the screen share, right?
Yes.
So right here is the tent where we did the conference in, right in front of one of the properties, pool, 2-story unit, 2.5 baths, 2 bedrooms. All the gravel you see now is all beautiful pavement, gravel, gated entry. It's a beautiful thing. Check it out. So here's the great thing, ladies and gentlemen. You can participate in this. We're buying 100 acres of land in Zanzibar, and you can be on the front end of this with us. And you can have your dream realized alongside with us. So imagine you coming there, hanging out with your family, but most importantly, imagine people leasing this out from you at $200, $250 a day during peak season, and you just collecting a nice check, feeling excited about you being in the right place at the right time. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. So that's just one we're going to show you. And Tajir, you can pull up the portion of that in the presentation where it's actually the pictures of how it's actually finished in the inside. Because I want you guys to see that. I want you guys to understand that there's a lot of opportunity on this frontier that we're pursuing. And then turn it back over to Tajir. Tajir, you can talk to him about the tourism piece. If I'm not mistaken, I think we just made a couple of acquisitions, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, you're not mistaken at all. So yeah, all right. So you have to understand when you're talking.
So you can take over the screen, Tajir. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So what you guys have to understand about emerging economies all around the world, where you have beautiful people and they have a lot to offer, one of the biggest pieces that contribute to the development of their land is the tourism. So, albeit a place like Zanzibar, where it is extremely inexpensive to the average American, right, in general, but the other piece is the tourism. That's not extremely inexpensive because that's the real key parts where they get to show you what their island truly has to offer. And so when you take a place like Zanzibar with its ability to be navigated and the different types of things there, transportation and tourism and that whole entire experience is a major opportunity, which we've seen for some time. So we had to make sure that we dived headfirst and got all the way involved. So we have just made a couple acquisitions, folks. We have just acquired a couple vehicles and we'll be acquiring some more boats. So we will be in the transportation and tourism business to be able to serve not just our network at the highest level when it comes to Zanzibar, but all of the people actually already coming to Zanzibar to vacation and stay because it's a major opportunity and moment. And we have strategic partnerships with our folks that have been in the tourism business for 10, 15 years. I've watched tourism companies be built from scratch. That have watched the change in activity on the island. What are the hotspots and what are the soon-to-be hotspots because of all the natural wonders that you cannot find anywhere else but Zanzibar. So when you put all that together, it's just a huge recipe for just a major moment that we're right in the forefront in to offer amazing experiences because I knew once that when I first went to Zanzibar and we went on some of our excursions and tour, those are some of the best moments that I've had anywhere. And I've traveled a lot of places and I've been a lot of places and done a lot of things. And I was blown away about the amount of fun and overall just great time that I've had and just the scenery is complete sensory overload. So being able to offer that to people at the highest level through our network, through people that we partner with to help increase their standard of living and help get them to the next level and realize their dreams is just a complete vertical alignment for all around win. In paradise, as you see, hence my background, you really can't get any better than that. So at this point, again, you're probably starting to get the main idea. Forward motion, strategic thinking, and imperfect execution. That's the name of the game. And that's what we're constantly preaching and practicing to move forward and push everything forward. So everything that you see is a culmination of our hard work. And again, still, let's not forget, this is still only the beginning. As DJ noted, we haven't even officially reached 2 years. So the amount that we've been able to accomplish in this time is really incomprehensible for the average person to understand. And it's only been this amount of time. And with us being in Zanzibar more often and having more of our team there and building more of our team there, you're just going to see an exponential level of growth. And so if you tuned in, I would tell you, don't just tune in, get involved because the ship is moving. The question is, are you going to be on the ship?
Yep. So we know you only got a couple of minutes left. So once you share your screen, show them the highlight of the next step that we're going to execute here immediately. We made those acquisitions, ladies and gentlemen, and we're just going to keep things, straightforward and simple with everybody. We're buying, we're building, we're creating assets. We're going to make money. And most importantly, we're going to own the businesses that are actually supporting the tourism piece. That's the most important part. It's not the townhouse. It's the stuff that supports getting to the townhouse, catering the townhouse, maintenance of the townhouse, the food, the cooks, the tours, all of that stuff that you automatically give to everybody else while you having the tourism travel bucket list trip experience, you're making them wealthy, but we're not doing that anymore. We're going to make ourselves wealthy. So go right ahead, Tajir, so we can don't hold you up because we know you got to go, but share with them real quickly what we're really excited about, what they need to come out and check out tomorrow and check out Monday.
Got you. 1 second.
So while Tajir is doing that, this is the stuff that you should be liking. This is the stuff you should be sharing. This is the stuff you should be subscribing to because it embodies the 5 principles of success in alignment with God. Cooperative economics in our community, leveraging our professional networks in our community, taking successful ecosystems, which we built in America and we're now building in Zanzibar to do economy of scale. And that produces equity and ownership in everything that we do on the B2C side, the business to the consumer side, which is what side we're on. We're 99% of the time on the consumer side. We're never on the B2B side, making the real money. Think about that. Go ahead.
This is what townhouse that you just saw. This is what some of the interior looks like right now. And here are some exterior shots. Look at this landscape. Complete paradise. So from the videos that you just saw, this is what it looks like right now. And some more shots of the landscape, of the front, of the overall design and a picture of it. And this could be you if you want it. And so we're super excited to be able to build these high quality products for our people. So when they come to Zanzibar and experience a completely different country and culture, they can experience it at the highest level of luxury. And this is what we're doing.
Yeah. And show them the stuff, how we're going to get there when the people stay there, what they really need, the day-to-day operation and experience. So not only you get to stay in a nice, beautiful, luxury townhouse in a gated community, ladies and gentlemen, but now you get to partake of the actual excitement of the island and enjoy the excursions, have the transportation. Instead of you paying out for it, you can receive the income for it. That's what Robert Kiyosaki said. Hey, if you want to ride on yachts, go buy a yacht and get in the yacht business and still have the yacht experience. Some of y'all catch that on the way home. So guess what we did? First 2 years, we participated as consumers, getting the transportation, the drivers for us. We participated as consumers with our partners, doing the tourism with them. And then we just said, enough is enough. We now are going to own all of that. Think about it. Show him, Tajir.
There we go. So literally, we're about to own a boat, just like the one you see, with all of us on it, where we just went and had a spectacular time to be able to transport people across the islands of Zanzibar for them to show them really all the flora and fauna and just the amazing moments. And we're going to own this so we can do this at scale and continue to show people, especially our people, the beauty that Africa and especially Zanzibar has to offer, and create massive revenue and growth at the same time. It's really a win-win-win. This is us at the beach line. Beach, I can't stress this enough. The best beach you'll ever go to. Nowhere else where the water is constantly at least 70 degrees. You don't have to tiptoe in. You could just go straight in, get in, and have an amazing time. And this is us having a feast on the middle of the Indian Ocean. You don't really get any better than this. Overlooking the water, great breeze, amazing sunlight, amazing food, amazing people. Wouldn't you want to do this all the time if you could? We know. Yeah. And that's why we got this business.
How about we start celebrating this? How about we start gossiping about this? That's a novel concept, isn't it? How about we start gossiping about, hey, I just saw 15, 20 professional Black people look just like me, having the time of their lives. And the great thing about it, Sarah, Nikki, Pookie, they actually owned everything. And they were partying to some good, positive music and they weren't beefing with each other. How about we get out and gossip about that and then have that on Club Shay Shay? Have that on, whatever platform. But we never do. But we want to talk about, comedians and football players, 50-some years of age, talking about they're going to, on site, pull up on somebody. How about we on site share and break bread together and make multi-generational wealth together? How about y'all spread the gospel to that? You beautiful people who are watching this right now, you should be excitedly sending this link to them same friends that you send that link 100 times about that stuff I just talked about. See, this right here requires real participation. Every person in that boat, they invested in themselves instead of invested in gossip. And now each person in that boat gonna have a beautiful opportunity to do what, Tajir?
Own the businesses and the boats that we're on, as well as more land in Zanzibar.
For a limited time, ladies and gentlemen, a limited time. So imagine this. What if you can invest $20,000? Not you by yourself, but let's say for you. $5,000 a piece. You can invest $20,000 and own a car that can make you $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. We ain't talking about you Uber driving. We talking about you own the car with us, and we contract it out for the people who need to get picked up at the airport, taken to the tourism to get on the boats to go to this beautiful island called Paradise Island. And every day, tell them the numbers, Tasha. What'd you say? What are the numbers on a daily basis that people will be going to these Celtic islands and stuff in Zanzibar? What's the numbers conservatively?
At least 900 people a day.
900 people a day. Let's just pull up the calculator real quickly. And this is open for everybody. I want y'all to think about it. 900 people a day, and there's multiple islands, and the most popular guy on the island that provides the tours, he's in that boat with us. He's a legend, literally. In our little sector of the island, which is like South Beach, Miami, he's like the Pied Piper, and he's a humble Pied Piper. And he rents out the boats and charges us X amount of dollars, like $100 a head. And now, instead of renting out the boat, he's going to have a boat from us to rent out to them. So let's just pull our calculator up real quickly and just show them some basic math. Basic math, okay? Let's share a screen, put that calculator up there, Nick. Just show them. So 900 people a day. And that's probably conservative. 900 people a day. And I'm going to find the video with all the kites in the air. And this show was definitely more than 900 people walking up and down the beachfront. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to go gossip about this. 900 people. And let's just say we have 3 boats. Okay? And let's say we just got lucky enough to get 10% of the action. What's 10% of 900? We got 10% of the action. We got 90 people. Tajir, is it safe to say that day we went out to Paradise Island for those 6 hours, that about 80 to 90 people were on that little island? Easily. And about how many boats would you say brought those people to and fro to that island?
I want to say at least 25 to 30 that I saw when I was paying.
So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. So on the boat we were on was 15 people. So Nick, divide. So we're gonna get 10% of the action, ladies and gentlemen. We only 10%. Divide that by 15 people. 15 people on our boat. Divide that by 15. Boom. 6 boats. 6 boat rides. because the boats just dock, so they can come back. Sorry, so check it out. So you got 6 boats, 90 people. Now let's take that 90 people time 100. $100 to take that trip for the whole day, ladies and gentlemen. That includes food. We're talking about lobster, crab, octopus, prawns, big old fat shrimp, beverage, music. You can't get into a movie theater with 2 people for under $90 now. $9,000. One day. I want y'all to write this down. $9,000. The boat, $30,000. So we're going to do this 3 times a week, ladies and gentlemen. So 9,000 times 3, Nick. What is that? That's basic math. And guess what? I want you to cut it in half. Let's just say, yep, 27. But let's just say $9,000. We do it one time, once a week. $9,000. The boat, $30,000. So let's divide 9,000 by 30,000. This is called a cash on cash return on your investment. 30% return. How many months it take you get your money back? Take the rule of 72, Nick. If y'all don't know this, rule of 72 says if you divide the amount of interest that you earn, it'll tell you how quickly that your money will double for you, how soon you can get your money back. So if you divide 30%, 2.4 months. So in month 3, let's call it month 4, you get all your principal back. And now you have 5 more months. What's 9,000 times 5? No problem, Tajir. What's 9,000 times 5? $45,000. You invest $30,000. You have your boat paid off in 3 months, and you still bring back into your house $45,000. And here's the caveat. Here's the cherry on top of the banana split or the sundae. Guess what? We have a 220 unit luxury residential resort that we opened up on Martin Luther King birthday, and probably 1/10 of those people will take this excursion once a month. So you have a trapped audience to help produce that money for you. And then on the transportation side, a car. So I want y'all to just write that down, 45,000. And these are just projections, can't guarantee you anything, but I can guarantee you this. Everything that I'm showing you, we own outright, no debt. We own it, ladies and gentlemen. So if it took us 12 months to produce this, let's say if it took us 2 years, that's 24,000 on a $30,000 investment. That's a great return. Still an upwards of 20, 30% return on your money. So now we're going to buy the car, which we actually just bought 2 vehicles. The car is going to run us 20,000. Okay. So we can take that down, Nick, and we're going to get up out of here. So the transportation weekly, when you stay there for a week and you want somebody to drive you anywhere you want to go, to the store, to the theater, to the tourism spot, to the mercantile, $250. Let's call it. Yep. Let's see. It's $50 a day times 7. With tip, you're gonna spend $400, but you're only gonna be there for a week, so you're gonna spend $400, right? So it's $400, Nick. 400 times 4.3, because there's 4.3 weeks in a month. equals 1720. 1720 times 9. On a 20,000. So now you divide that by 20,000. That's a 77% return on your money. There you go. Cut it in half. So if you take the law, the rule of 72, you basically going to have the car paid off in a short period of time, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're looking at. So equity ownership. Now we're going to double down on the ancillary business part of the ecosystem, which is 5 ancillary businesses, ladies and gentlemen. Travel. We as a people spent $109 billion in traveling in 2022. I think the 2023 numbers are going to be somewhere close to about 115 to 120 billion. We own less than 2% in equity and ownership of everything. I want y'all to hear that. We own less than 2%. We're going to hit them with transportation. $100 million opportunity on the island by 2027. We're going to hit them with tourism. $100 million opportunity. We're going to hit them with cleaning, waste management, pest control. $100 million. That's $300 million by 2027. And concierge and, home chefs and drivers, another $30 million. And we can show you right now how to just tap in as little as $20,000, as little as $30,000, and you don't have to come up with all the money. You can get into the party as little as $7,500 if you're qualified, and you could potentially make a 30 to 77% return on your money because of one thing and one thing only, because you have seen us in less than 2 years build a multi-million-dollar luxury residential resort, and now we're about to capitalize on the ancillary businesses that have to support and maintain the resort because we own it. That is the win of all wins. And if that's something that you could get excited about and you can start spreading the gospel about or the gossip about and be like, oh, girl, oh, dude, man, they getting down, they beating down money. They own everything. And they could be on these other shows talking about, man, how's it that they own all that island? How's it that they own them cars and them boats? Man, and how did those other people get over there? We can do it too. But you know what? The sad thing is you won't do that. But you know what the great thing is? A small handful of you will, and you're going to win bigger and better than you can ever imagine. Because we are building the pipeline. We're not carrying buckets. We are building the pipeline and we are not carrying buckets, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you're seeing. So I'm going to find, you can take that down, Nick. I'm going to find one last video on the hard drive that Isaiah sent us. And I just want to show them what a day looks like from a drone view of kite season. It's going to have a little bit loud background, but I'm just to show you guys inside of Paradise Island. And you can ask yourself, man, where are you at in this picture? All right, hold on one second. Let me go to my screen share. And this is what we should be gossiping about. And again, we're showing you raw footage. See, when you got the mods, you can share it however you want to share it. Let me see here. Let me open this up. So I'm not the technical guru on here, but I got it. All right, let's see here. Screen share, present, share screen, window. There we go. This is the trip to Paradise Island, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. You see, music, boat, all that is consumerism at the highest level. We had a great time, but each person on that boat, ladies and gentlemen, own equity and ownership in that enterprise, and you can too. Let me show you this one last one with the kites in the air from the other trip, and then we're gonna get out of here. If you got any questions or any comments, if you like what you see, hey man, put some comments in the comment box. You know that's what it's about. Let me see here. Let me go here. Boom, boom. Let me see if I can put this up here. Yep. Here we are on the beach with our attorneys and our CPAs. Let me see, and then I'm gonna pull up the last one with the kites in the air, and this is real, baby. This is real here. Let me see here. Yep. So we have a great time. Life is great. All right. Let me see here. Let me go one more. Oh wait. Here we go. It's the one I like here. The drawing of the pom-pom lifestyle, baby. Let's see here. That's right. We mark our turf.
I don't think you showed it on the screen.
Is it up there now?
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Okay, so here it is. We making the pom-pom lifestyle. Yes, sir. So, you know, the dream is real. Here's the last picture. Up, I didn't show it. Let me pull it up. All right, let me put the screen share one time. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The pom-pom lifestyle is real, baby. Here we go.
Okay. Right here. Yeah, because they're in that shot. We're going. We're rolling. Got it.
Man, you can't tell us that we don't know how to have a good time. That's the beauty of it. Here's the last one to show them, Nick, real quickly. And again, you're seeing the raw footage, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to remember this before we mix it up, because again, when you own it, you can do it however way you want to do it. You either see it or you don't. Here we go, baby. This is just a day in the life of beautiful Zanzibar. Boats, kites, people, seafood, sun, fun, and most importantly, we own everything, baby. Equity and ownership. And the question is, where are you at in this video, and why aren't you in the video? And then most importantly, why aren't you gossiping about it? Spread the word. Come join us. The Beaches of the World Club in Zanzibar. As our videographer got out of control with the camera a little bit, but again, hey man, when you own it all, you can do all you want, any way you want. White sand beaches, beautiful, 90-degree weather. It's amazing. Bungalows, everything. There you go. Well, I think part 4 is a success. So if you like to take a bite out of Zanzibar, the acronym BITE, B, buy 100 acres of land in Zanzibar. We're about 2/10 of the way done with that. I invest in the ancillary businesses that support the resorts that we have just built. That's the travel industry, the transportation, excursions, cleaning, concierge, and now the chef business. That's $330 million worth of revenue that's going to filter through Zanzibar between now and 2027, ladies and gentlemen. And think about this. What if we just captured only 10%? That's $30 million a year. And guess what? We own everything that I've shown you, the boats, the cars, the resorts. We own it outright, ladies and gentlemen. Equity and ownership, and we are literally one of one. Black unicorns. And the great thing is, you can be part of it too. If you would like to participate, Nick's going to put the link down in the description. Come out to our presentation tomorrow at 12 Eastern and let us show you how to create multi-generational wealth, crawl, walk, run, our way to success. And I want you to think about this. Every time a brand new stadium is built in America for a sport team, they make billions of dollars. And it generally takes them 5 to 7 years to build it. And when they build it, they will come. I.e., you just saw the Super Bowl. Allegiant Stadium was literally built 2 years ago. It took them 5 to 7 years to build it. They run tens of millions of dollars a month through that stadium. And they just had the host of the Super Bowl where a 30-second spot ran $7 million. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just getting started. So buy, invest, and travel exclusively and experience a bucket list trip with DJ the Money Coach and the 7 Spheres of Money team. And the great thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, we also have an international company in Zanzibar. So I'll turn it over to Nick. This has been DJ the Money Coach, live with you on Family Finance Friday, the last Friday of Black History. But the great thing is, Black history in our world is 24/7, 365, and we have realized the dream of making this a reality in less than 2 years. And we've shown it to you step by step by step, and we are just getting started. So I would encourage you to spread the word in the replay to your homegirls, to your homeboys, and gossip about success and equity and ownership versus trash that leads us to you know where. So with Nick, I'm out of here. And hey, come join us because the Pom Pom Lifestyle movement can't be stopped.
Yep. That's right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this episode of Family Finance Friday. And as always, even if any of this beach that we took you to tonight didn't wow you, that's okay. This is our beach. We want you to enjoy your beach, and your beach is whatever you want it to be. As long as you have your health, your happiness, your peace of mind, your tranquility, that is your beach. And we want you to enjoy that. So we will see you on the next episode of Family Finance Friday. And like DJ the Money Coach said at the beginning, like we said at the beginning and throughout, like this, share. And if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and join us.
Hit them with the 2 videos. Hit them with the grand opening of the Blue Lagoon, and then hit them with the last video that we open up with so they can have the information. So guys, hey, it's your world. You can do whatever you want. God is no respecter of persons. As long as you got health, you got a team, and you got a dream, everything's possible, because impossible really means I'm possible, and you are every day, 365 days of the year. God bless, and may he bring you prosperity and peace synonymous with his kingdom. We'll see you next time.